This week we are celebrating the first anniversary of Honkai Star Rail. We received some free jades, made some fat pools and bathed in the glory of the triple fodder event. But what is the game like for a new player? Of an evening on Sunday the 21st I created a new account to understand how a new player would experience Honkai Star Rail, 1 year after the release. My new account is free to play, and so far has had fairly average luck, so an experience that is probably in common with the vast majority of players. The game is pretty generous at the start, and just by progressing through the story I was able to obtain 4 5-star characters, in addition to the free auto ratio. Wealth is the character I got from the beginner banner, followed by another Wealth from Genius banner, and from the standard banner I got Clara, and after a few days of grinding jades I used my guaranteed on adventuring. I have a decent selection of characters, and thanks to my previous experience in the game I knew that focusing on a single team to go through a content is better than spreading resources too thin and ending up with a bunch of underpowered characters. A team with a sustain, a buffer, a debuffer and a main damage dealer is a setup that can go through most content with ease. And with ratio and wealth having a bit of synergy, Asta being my only harmony unit and Lynx joining my account before Natasha, and the team was done. I'm currently Trailblazer level 41, the story, events, side quests have all been extremely easy to full clear. Increasing our Trailblazer level is extremely important, and the fastest way to do so is by going through the main story. I was absolutely shocked by how short it is, especially when compared to the amount of filler dialogue in random events. I created this account on a Sunday evening, and playing it fairly casually while I was being a productive member of society at work, I reached Penacony by Wednesday morning. Sure, I skipped all the dialogue and I haven't done any exploration, but still, for 1 year worth of patches, it felt like the main story lacked a bit of depth. I've still enjoyed it, and I'm now going through the character's quest, another great source of Trailblazer power. Relics are in a very odd spot, and the system seems to be designed to waste players' early game energy. Using energy to farm low-tier relics is a huge waste, but at the same time our characters need to have some stuff on them, and fodder is never enough. It's something that I had noticed on my first playthrough as well, but it's even more apparent now. A slightly cheeky and manipulative thing that I haven't noticed on my main account happens around Trailblazer level 40. Operation Briefing missions provide great reward, and for the most part the required tasks are in line with the required Trailblazer level to complete them. Once we reach Trailblazer level though, things change quite a bit. This far into the game, it's virtually impossible for a free-to-play player to have enough resources to fully build 2 fully functioning teams for the blue stages of the Memory of Chaos. Meaning that MiHoYo relies on players' progression, fear of missing out, because this is the moment that suddenly all the resources on the battle pass start to look very alluring. Oh MiHoYo, you monumental pieces of All the older events are replayable apart from Silver Wolves event, because the free Lightcon was too good and we cannot have nice things. They're all fully unlocked too, meaning that nothing is time gated. Most of them were fairly quickly to clear, requiring an amount of time that I would consider adequate. The only exception was Huohuo's event. I had to split playtime between 2 days to fully clear it, and the amount of dialogue felt absurd for a patch event. Speaking of excessive dialogue, we need a hard skip button. Reverse 1999 is the average game I'm playing right now, and it allows players to completely skip any dialogue and rewatch the cutscene later. This is fantastic, and it feels like developers respect their players' time. So if I'm clearing an event during my lunch break, I can focus on the gameplay, then rewatch cutscenes later when I'm chilling at home. I doubt MiHoYo will ever introduce a feature like this, because it would clearly show how short the main quests are, but a man can dream. The amount of stuff available to a new player can be quite daunting. People who feel like they need to catch up to the rest of the player base are going to have a rough time, so if you are a new player 1 year into the game, hear me out and take it slow. Speaking of the catching up, how far am I from the endgame? Well, extremely far. I've been clearing the blue stages of the Mirror Lady and I'm now stuck because I don't have 2 usable teams, only 1. I'll probably use a tiny bit of fuel during the next few days to ascend some characters and unlock a few traces, but I know how valuable fuel can be later on in the game to farm relics, pump up traces, build new characters, so it's better to use the bare minimum to speed up progression during the early stages of the game. Future Pulse strategy. During today's live stream, MiHoYo announced that my beloved Shui will be in the first half of the coming patch. Her banner will also include Robin, so I'll try to use a few pulls on that banner to see what will happen. Here on my channel and in my Discord we never talk about leaks because they can obviously damage the integrity of a game. But Jade, being a 5-star erudition character with some alleged follow-up attacks, makes me think that she's a character I would really like to pull for, on both of my accounts. On my main account I'm probably going to wail for her, so if you want to witness my slow descent into madness a few weeks from now, remember to subscribe and drop a like. Right now my game time is split between completing quests and other events and grinding the simulated universe. Luckily my name is Sir Grindalot, so I have no issue camping in the simulated universe to unlock stuff and make game progression a bit easier. I'm actually very curious to see how long it will take me to grind through the Swarm Disaster and Golden Gears. Luckily my main account requires a very small amount of daily maintenance, so I can focus a bit more on my free-to-play by-the-way account. 1 year into its life, Honkai Star Rail is still a game that is very easy to approach for new players. It's not the most generous gacha on the market, but I would say it's among the best in terms of reward. At least if we only consider the high-quality ones and not the random trash for which we get massive booba ads on YouTube.